the whole season has been great.
Okay, awesome!
It's always nice, I think, when there is a heart.
What could be more universal than this need to connect? I think I'm in love with you.
What? What?
It's such a romantic idea, and everybody wants to find their soulmate.
I'm crazy about you. I think we should be together. What do you say?
I have to pee.
It's still ridiculously funny, even though it does have heart to it.
There was something really special starting from the script.
Come on!
This is the story of How I Met Your Mother's first season. Before moving on to season 2, the cast and creative team got together to look back on their freshman year. This is our video yearbook.
Let's do this!
The idea came from Carter and I deciding to write about our lives. And so we decided that we'd write about a couple and a single guy. Like sort of based on my wife and I as a couple, and based on Carter as a single guy who had gone to college together and sort of had, you know, graduated from college and become this weird little family unit.
Come on, guys, get a room.
We wanted to do something that was kind of, you know, about people in love and about people, you know, people who care about each other.
Will you marry me?
Of course, you idiot!
We started pitching pilots around the time everyone was saying the sitcom was dead. That was sort of the phrase that everyone was saying. And I guess our gamble, our idea was to think, well, maybe what it's lacking is just a little bit more heart.
Click. Off. Let's make out.
There's no off switch.
And showing that people don't just insult each other all the time, that they care about each other, and that we wanted to create a show with quiet moments.
You're right. There's no off switch. God, I wish there was an off switch.
We wanted to do a show that would be a good DVD show, where you could really delve into these characters' journeys over arcs and over an entire season.
It's a true ensemble. They're very supportive of each other and very supportive of all of us, you know, everybody behind the camera. And they've become really good friends, and I think it translates. I think when you watch it, you really get that these people like each other and care about each other.
We really hate each other.
Casting a character that was kind of based on me, we picked Josh because he was handsome enough, I think. A lot of the guys just didn't have this going on, you know. In the pilot, there's a big monologue towards the end where Ted sort of says all this stuff about how he's tired of being single and he's ready to settle down.
You know what? I'm done being single. I'm not good at it. Look, obviously, you can't tell a woman you just met you love her. But it sucks that you can't.
When we wrote it, you know, it felt like, oh God, there's no, how do you sell this? Like, no one, people are going to see this and they're going to roll their eyes.
I finished the speech. There was just this pause after I finished, and Megan Brandman, our casting director, said, "Will you marry me?" Which was very sweet.
That was the signal.
In that one moment, we knew that A, we had our Ted, and B, maybe the show could actually work.
A big part of the show is this couple, Marshall and Lily.
Hello, sailor.
They just got engaged.
In a way, they kind of represent the ideal to Ted. The idea we had for the show was see someone searching for love and also see two people trying to keep young love together.
Screw those guys. We're adorable.
I know, God.
And then I found out that I'm loosely playing Craig, and Josh is loosely playing Carter.
That is why we're best friends.
So I decided that we needed someone gigantic, and Jason Segel is 6'4", and he could capture the truly powerful presence that I am.
Mr. Stinson, this is Willis from Lobby Security. Sorry to bother you, but we've had reports of a Sasquatch loose in the building.
When I came in to meet with them, I was already testing for another show, and I was attached to it, so I couldn't even test for this show.
We're huge fans of Freaks and Geeks, and we just love Jason so much, and he was our first choice for the role.
There's so many people in this town, you don't have to wait for anybody, and they waited for me.
I think you'll find I'm full of surprises tonight.
So there's more surprises, like what?
Boo! And that's all of them.
My wife was freaked out that we were writing a part based on her, and she was sort of like, that makes me feel strange that you're doing that. And she said the one way she'd be okay with it is if we got Alison Hannigan.
Alison and I hit it off right from the start. She was there for my studio test. It was the scene where I proposed to her, and I popped the champagne cork, and it hits her in the eye.
I promised Ted we wouldn't do that.
She went up on her lines in the middle of the thing, and there's this awkward pause, at which point we both started riffing.
Did you know there's a Pop-Tart under your fridge?
No, but dibs.
What is that champagne?
It was the biggest laugh we got.
I don't know why I was so scared of this. It's pretty easy, right?
She's just so sweet and funny that she brings a sort of like lightness, this light touch to that role, where she can get in there and just give crap back to Barney. She can call Ted
The little bitch.
in the pilot, and it can be charming rather than too aggressive.
She's one of the guys too, and she can drink a beer.
Come on! 10 seconds!
Suck it, losers!
She was funny, but she also had heart, which I think is important. And I really enjoy the relationship of Marshall and Lily.
Claire's my age, and she and her husband do all this classy grown-up stuff. Maybe we should start doing some grown-up stuff.
There's some pretty grown-up stuff we did this morning.
Yeah, but it wasn't classy.
When you write a character that's this beautiful, confident woman who's just awesome, you know, you hope you can get something even approximating that. And when Cobie walked in, it was like we had just sort of like conjured her up.
I was kind of in an interesting situation where I had to decide between 3 pilots, and I just loved the idea of going to work every day and laughing and trying to make people laugh. I'm a dirty, dirty girl. Ow. Reporting live, Robin Scherbatsky, Metro News 1.
We have to give credit to Megan Brandman, our casting director. She was literally flipping channels and saw Cobie just doing some bit part on like an hour drama, and she said from day one, I have your Robin, and she was right.
Can that girl take a close-up? I ask you. Yeah, she is a spectacular find.
She is such a strong, independent woman who seemingly has this soft side, which is displayed throughout the entire season.
Okay, I've missed you. Not in a we're gonna make out way. Not even in an I forgive you way. Just in an I've missed you way.
The way we wrote Barney, the script was like a Jack Black type, a John Belushi-esque, kind of like hard drinking, heavier set kind of guy.
I can tell you personally that when I read it, Neil Patrick Harris is not who I was picturing.
$100 says when you turn around, I say, wow.
Neil came in for the audition and literally did, from the pilot, the shoulder roll when he's playing laser tag.
Yeah, the audition scene, which was during a laser tag game, a phone call.
Hey, loser, how's not playing laser tag? Because playing laser tag is awesome!
He kind of like moved some furniture around before the audition. We were sort of like, what's he doing?
But I'm playing laser tag in the scene. So I just did all sorts of crazy stuff. I did a dive roll, and I didn't judge the distance very well.
Like did a crazy flip in our office and slammed up against our wall, like knocked some stuff off a desk.
It was extraordinary. I've never seen an actor go for it like he went for it.
And once Neil regained consciousness, we told him he had the part.
Okay, meet me at the bar in 15 minutes, and suit up!
Well, I think Bob Saget is great because he's done the family man, father, you know, talking to his kids. He's done that, you know, on Full House. But he's also just so ridiculously funny.
Yeah, they had a few other people come in and do it too, like you know, like John Davidson and Slappy White, and then they ended up in Florence Henderson, and then they had me do it.
He sort of has that subversive tone to his voice, in addition to sounding like a TV dad, sort of, and in addition to also sounding a little bit like Josh Radnor, because we needed someone whose voice could plausibly be Josh's voice 25 years from now. So we sort of just lined up all of those ingredients, and Bob Saget was the guy.
Kids, I'm going to tell you an incredible story. The story of how I met your mother.
Are we being punished for something?
No?
Yeah, is this gonna take a while?
Yes.
We get a lot of angry comments from people that Ted and Robin can't end up together, but that was just not the story we ever set out to tell.
We could be friends.
Because we live right above the bar. And Craig said, you know, you don't declare you want to meet the love of your life, wander down to a bar, 15 minutes later, meet her. I can't do this anymore. I need an answer.
If you want me to say yes right now, I can't do that. I feel Ted's journey is he's trying to find this perfect person, and maybe through our relationship he'll like chill out about that a little bit and not be so, you know, aggressive.
Because that, kids, is the true story of how I met your Aunt Robin.
Aunt Robin?
I thought this was how you met Mom.
Will you relax? I'm getting to it.